we are not against E20, but 80 to 90% of the vehicles today on the road are E10 compliant. Please give them E10 petrol as per their compliance. E20, please continue, give it a 20% discount. If adulterated petrol is coming in, then who's accountable? I don't understand, like you, I don't understand too much of physics. I don't know flying buses. What I do understand is if my vehicle is E10 compliant, how the hell can E20 petrol work in it when its own instruction manual says it cannot work? And if it can work, if E20 can work in an E10 vehicle, then why the hell did those companies upgrade their vehicles?
Congress does not want to very openly be seen as launching a protest so that more genuine people join you and then eventually they benefit. What do you have to say to this?
Bro, Google the price of sugarcane right now on this show. And how much has gone up in the last month? It's surged up. It's gone up massively. And the government has banned the export of sugar. Like, dude, how? Who only a top-class babu could have thought of this?
No, but then
cheating on me.
I have no idea that I was supporting a political outfit.
But you're cheating on me. And I'm going to tell Palki that you're cheating on me and this is unacceptable.
Hello and welcome. You're watching me, Sanket Upadhyay, on the Federal. The show is called AI with Sanket. This is the AI of news because news in India today requires not artificial but analytical intelligence. One issue which is of significant importance is ethanol. Yes, it took a back seat because of the students' protest, but it seems that now a concerted effort is being made to bring that to the fore once again because the issue never went away. The ethanol E20 policy remains. The government is defending it. But all those who are speaking against this policy also have their grudge. And in their argument, they suggest that you bring back the E10 policy, which means 10% ethanol blending, because very many cars right now on the road and motorcycles are E10 compliant. They're not E20 compliant. Their average has gone down. Their maintenance cost has gone down. Does the government have the right to increase the maintenance cost and decrease the mileage of a common man's car or a scooter? Can they do it? Is this a consumer rights issue? Now there is another protest which has been planned on the 31st of July, and the man who's going to lead the protest is now with me. Thank you very much, Tehseen, for joining us. You've launched something called Team Bharat.
Yes.
You've held multiple protests. First of all, I want to know from you, why are you talking about this issue?
Because this is an issue that affects most Indians. Most Indians, a vehicle is the second most expensive thing they buy. And when that vehicle, which is a matter of happiness for them, you buy generally on happy occasion, Diwali, Gudi Padwa, Christmas, Eid, becomes a matter of stress, becomes a matter of problem, then it starts affecting a lot of other things. So I think this is something that the government should look at. Also because it was a non-consensual policy. As we go deeper into this policy, we realize the government has completely kept us oblivious of what should have been our right to know. It's just a very simple thing before we dive into detail. If this policy is so good for Indians, the E20 policy, why is it not in public domain? Why can't the Federal look at it? Why can't Sanket read it? Why can't your viewers and your readers and subscribers see it? Why is it so secretive if it is in my interest? The fact that the government's been so opaque about it is what makes people more angry. And there's real loss of money. Really your average is going down. Your vehicles are facing issues.
I want to ask you, what are those 3 or 4 concrete steps that you want the government to take? And right now, I'm not discussing politics. I'm discussing policy.
Policy, very clear.
What are your demands?
Very clear. Ethanol-free petrol, ethanol zero, pure petrol, which currently retails at some petrol pumps, mostly Coco petrol pumps, company-owned, company-operated petrol pumps, between 165 to 170, bring down the price to 90 rupees a litre. It is easily affordable. I will explain that in the segment later on. Secondly, we are not against E20, but 80 to 90% of the vehicles today on the road are E10 compliant. Please give them E10 petrol as per their compliance. E20, please continue, give it a 20% discount. Put all documents of E20 policy in public domain, as we said earlier. Get a solution for vehicles that may have faced some problem because of E20. The E10 pre-2023 vehicles have a solution for them. But importantly, last, not the most important, but an important thing, Nitin Gadkari ji and Hardeep Puri ji must be held accountable. Accountable for this complete mess that they've done, the arrogance that Nitin Gadkari ji has shown, the threats. This accountability should be set in.
Okay. You've raised a number of points. One is that
Petrol.
pure 100% petrol, the price should come down
To 90 rupees.
to 90 rupees, which is lesser than what E20 is retailing at currently.
Which is a scam.
Okay. I'm going to come to that in a moment. There should be a choice of fuel.
Correct.
So for cars, E10 should be made available, and you can sell E20 also. And then people should choose what petrol they want. You want the E20 documents that claim, the government claims has given a green signal to the E20 policy. Those documents should be in the public domain, because this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Those documents are not in the public domain. There are reports from IIT Kanpur and some other reports of ARAI, but this crucial report, which talks about rubber parts being damaged, is not in the public domain.
Yeah.
So that should come back in the public domain. And ministers should be held accountable. Surprisingly, the road transport minister speaks much more about ethanol than the petroleum minister. So they should be held accountable. These are the demands that you have raised. Now, from a consumer point of view, you see, what is the crude oil rate and how much does it retail? More than this, I think the major concern for people right now is on, number one, their maintenance costs.
Yeah.
Number two, their average. It is a huge issue for Indians, because that is a key deciding factor before you buy a car or a bike.
True.
Kitna deti?
Correct.
What is the average?
Correct.
And the third now, which is the latest edition. So far we've been talking about blending. Now the latest problem that people have started facing is of contamination.
That's the point.
Which means water mixing into petrol.
Correct.
So who takes responsibility for this? Clearly, automakers are not. Car makers say, boss, my car is meant for ethanol mixed petrol, not for water.
That's true.
So where is this water coming from?
So let's address the last thing.
Okay.
The problem that both in the press conference and in the couple of issues that happened, the Maruti issue that went to Raipur and the Toyota issue earlier than that, the companies tend to say, look, it's not ethanol that's the problem, it's adulterated fuel. Okay, but I don't know of a single individual, Sanket, who's ever gone to a petrol pump and said, give me adulterated fuel. I don't know of a single. So obviously, the government, including Hardeep Puri ji, is responsible for pure petrol coming in. If adulterated petrol is coming in, then who's accountable? I have paid my taxes, bought a vehicle, paid my taxes on the vehicle, filled fuel, paying taxes on that fuel. After this, the least I can have is peace, not worry about adulterated fuel. So if you're not capable, please leave. The adulterated fuel is the government's problem, not my problem. I don't know anyone who brings fuel from the house and puts it in their vehicle or manufactures fuel. But more importantly, you see, there's also a technical part to that, because let me just go there. Part of the ARAI report and CIM report that is hidden not just talks about 2030, the date of implementation for E20, because vehicles phase out. It also says that the 1 lakh plus petrol pumps, retail outlets, are not equipped to store the petrol, which is blended with 20% ethanol, because as you know, ethanol attracts water and moisture. So even the storage has to be made different, which was the Hindu report. How many of these petrol pumps have upgraded? And they can't. And that is the problem. So it may not really be that the oil marketing companies are allowing water to come.
I'll tell our viewers what this story, the Hindu story is. The Hindus, Jagriti Chandra, spoke to Petrol Pump Dealers Association and specific petrol pump owners. And they said that because in this rainy season and monsoon season, ethanol mixed and ethanol blended petrol has a tendency to absorb water. And what happens is that we admit that water seeps into the petrol and that segregation happens, which can then contaminate the petrol, which will eventually go into your vehicle. Now this report also says that this responsibility is of these oil marketing companies. And the oil marketing companies have put the responsibility back on the pump owners that you check your tanks 3 times a day. They say, you know, it's unfeasible for us. It's not possible, practically not possible. We don't earn that much.
Exactly. And therefore, the point is, this tanks should have been kept separate. The storage has to be separate for these petrol. It can't be stored in what the tanks already were there, because there it was fine. That is what's causing the problem for this. So this ethanol 20 policy has been completely ill thought of, and it's been put in place completely haphazardly. It's not a bad policy. Ethanol has certain benefits in the interest of the country, but that interest cannot be completely putting me down. That is the problem with these policies. And what adds to it is, now when we talk about this policy, the government tends to mock us, saying, oh, ethanol 20 is bothering you. Last year we were giving you ethanol 19. Year before last we were giving you ethanol 18. And suddenly you say, hold on, we thought it was ethanol 10. Like,
yeah, because that was the claim.
That was the claim. And now, and I'm sure legally to save themselves, they'll have some press release somewhere which would be obscure and none of us would know.
No, but then it was not the word of the street.
Did you know about it?
No, of course not.
So point is, they just experimented. And now the doubt is...
you tell me, so right now, officially, it's E20.
Exactly.
What is the possibility of the fuel being experimented even now? What if I'm filling up E22 or 25?
Yeah, and then they'll tell you 10 years down the line, hey, we made a fool out of you. It was E25, bro. We got you there. Like, do you not understand basic concept and basic consumer rights? How can you treat your own citizens like dirt? That's the problem. You just think that they are worthless people and you'll just experiment. Who gives you that right? That's what bothers me about it.
So in your protest on the 31st of July, first let's talk about the protest first. We've just seen Delhi recover from a massive protest. This led to the
violence that it did.
Violence, and then eventually the sacking. For the first time in the history of Narendra Modi as an administrator, he had to remove a minister due to large-scale on-ground protests.
Yeah.
Before this was MJ Akbar, but it was nowhere close to this level of agitation.
No, there was one more. Suresh Prabhu, but Suresh Prabhu did not resign. The Prime Minister said, hold on.
It wasn't the scale as this.
Yeah, he told him, hold on, we'll reshuffle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so this was the first big
one, yeah.
Bending to public pressure sort of decision that he has taken. I want to ask you that how angry are the people to this policy, and what are you planning to do on the 31st of July?
So on the 31st of July, what we plan to do is take our vehicles, cars or bikes, bicycles also welcome, from India Gate, outside Hardeep Puri ji and Nitin Gadkari ji's office and residence.
It's going to be a bike rally, and car rally.
Yeah. We'll go together.
We'll cause a traffic jam in Delhi.
So the police can guide us how to go about it. We can go in a single line. I mean, they have to plan with us. They are threatening to put us in jail. They can sit and plan with us, right? Who's stopping them from planning? We're ready to follow the laws. We're ready to follow the rules. Unlike any other protest, I'm taking accountability for it. I'm ready to put myself in the front. But they're not ready to cooperate with the Delhi police. Their tone is sort of being non-responsive. And the sources or the people who've been mediating in between, or people we asked for permission, have said, we will not allow you and we will put you behind bars. So if that is the case, so be it.
Then what will you do?
I'll sit in jail, I'll chill. 1 month I'll work out. What will you do 1 month, 2 months? I mean, how do you deal with somebody who threatens you? I mean, I'm a citizen of this country. I have a legitimate grievance. They admit that the grievance is right. I have a right to protest. You can't threaten to put me in jail. You got to accommodate my protest, especially when I'm taking accountability. We can work out rules. We can work out laws. We can work out regulations. We can even work out dates if you accommodate me. That I don't hassle you. But I can't be threatened by you. If I am going 10 steps ahead, you must at least come 2 steps ahead. You can't threaten me when I come 10 steps ahead.
So as of now, without any permission to protest, you have launched a protest on the 31st of July, where there will be a motorcade of cars and bikes from India Gate to Ambassador Puri's house, his office.
Minister Puri.
Yeah, minister. He was an ambassador,
I mean, and a well-serving one.
Yeah.
He served our country well as an ambassador.
So, Hardeep Singh Puri's residence, his office, Nitin Gadkari's residence, his office, and then eventually outside Parliament, and you end your march.
And we talked to the media there. And the actual people who face grievances will face the media.
Yeah.
Because Gadkari ji said, get one person, we'll get many.
And you're hopeful that you'll be allowed to do so?
I'm hopeful within the laws and the rules and the regulations they stipulate, I will follow.
And if you are stopped, then you will go wherever the police takes you.
Let them do what they want to do. I can't control them. I can control my actions.
And you're taking full accountability that there will be no, if there is, God forbid, violence, then you take accountability that your protest went
Yes,
violent.
absolutely. But I would also like the police to cooperate if I see some people who are not a part of the protest, because what I'm trying to do is people who are registering or coming with us, we have their details. So we know these are our people. If there's somebody who comes in, it's very easy to infiltrate, right? Or could be created. The police must also cooperate helping getting them out. So I do want to work with them. I don't want to work against them, because we do know how these protests are infiltrated by either side. It could be one extreme or the other extreme. I don't want any of that. My protest stage is not meant for any other issue but ethanol, petrol, and your money. I don't want to discuss anything, neither to Donald Trump, neither anything.
And your demands are very clear.
It's very specific.
Bring down the price of pure petrol.
To 90
Make a choice. You've mentioned the price also.
Very
I'm going to come to you. Why have you arrived at
Yes.
this figure? The choice of fuel for the choice of vehicle, E20 documents to be made public, and Mr. Nitin Gadkari's...
Should go. And Hardeep Puri ji should be held accountable. Nitin Gadkari preferably should go.
Okay. Why Nitin Gadkari? What do you have against him? He's not even the minister for petroleum.
That's precisely the problem. Why does he keep talking about it if he's not the minister? Two reasons. Why did I get involved when suddenly he made this statement that from now on I've signed a file for 100% ethanol and I'm stopping petroleum and petrol will not be required? And I was like, bro, you are currently not the petroleum minister. I'm a little political aware. It is Hardeep Puri ji. And this ethanol business should have been the agriculture minister, industry minister, and the petroleum minister. How did our dude come in between? But more importantly, apart from this,
Dude.
yeah, I mean, he's just come in and he's been showing off about this, right? So on all stages, he's been like, I'm going to make sure petrol imports stop. You'll get petrol at 15 rupees, blended with ethanol. Dude, you're not the minister. You've gone about giving big talks to the citizens of India, but you are a union minister. It is your duty to be accountable.
Maybe he's speaking in that capacity as a member of the government.
Correct. In which case, if you've made a commitment to the people of India that you'll give them petrol at 15 rupees when ethanol is blended, stick to the damn commitment. If you're speaking as a member of the government, you deserve to go because you've let down your government. You're giving me petrol at 102. Nations, that too blended with petrol, 102 to 112. Nations that buy petrol from me and you, Bhutan, Nepal, give their citizens petrol at a much lesser rate, Indian currency, and without blending ethanol. Bangladesh also buys from us. They don't buy 100% of their petrol from us. They also give their citizens at a much lesser rate. So you clearly have misled us as a member of the government, as you rightly pointed out. Therefore, you need to be held accountable. Plus, this is the important thing. He's in conflict of interest. And this is the part where he threatens people. He bullies people. His kids are in the ethanol business. It is unethical. It is purely unethical. It is conflict of interest. 2018, he was speaking to a publication where he said, my kids are worth 1,100 crores. He said this publicly. Now he's saying that now his kids, their business in the last 1 year has grown quite impressively.
See, the point is, he's not a minister. So
He's
for petroleum and natural gas. He's a road transport minister.
But he's promoting ethanol.
He's promoting ethanol, but technically he cannot influence or change. He can't sign on the...
But he said he signed it. He said petrol will stop.
He may have claimed, but
you and I both know. In what capacity did he claim? As a father or as a minister? Was he invited in those functions?
I'm assuming, I can't second guess.
No, he was in those functions as a union minister. Speaking. And that's my problem with him. When you speak as a minister, please act like one and take accountability. He was there as a minister.
Because technically speaking, as he's not the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, he doesn't sign.
He claims he signed.
Yeah, he is claiming.
And he's also claiming to run the policy. And not just on public forums. He's even done podcasts with YouTubers who do food.
He can be a propagator of the policy. He can be a promoter of that policy.
Does he sit in the cabinet meeting?
Yeah, of course.
Is that a conflict of interest or no? I'm asking you this as a journalist. Is it a conflict of interest or no?
No, there can again be an argument.
Has he walked out of any?
I am saying there can be an argument that what is wrong is it a crime for members of a union minister's family doing business?
No, it's not a crime, but it is conflict of interest. I don't think the two are very separate. And it is, one is criminal, one is unethical, bordering on illegality.
It's quite surprising because most of the social media chatter that I see, the ethanol anger is directed against Mr. Nitin Gadkari and not Hardeep Singh Puri.
Because he comes up with statements like, I'm making flying buses. Now, unless he's talking about the Airbus company, which already exists and he's not making it, he's actually made this up. So the limited point that the people that I meet, okay, see, again, I'm saying a bike is a very expensive thing for most Indians. Again, for most Indians, it's the second most expensive thing. Forget a car. You know, they're saying, please, bro, like you experiment wherever you want. Don't experiment on our bikes. Please get flying buses, get 200 ethanol. If you can be an Einstein, don't do it on our vehicles. Our vehicles are E10 compliant. Give us E10 fuel. It's a very simple demand. In his idea to be viral, or his idea to be a show off, or his idea to set the government policy, he's crossed several lines, and that's unacceptable.
You think the government, and I consider this as a government policy and not a individual minister specific policy, however accountability must be fixed. The original deadline of 2030 was more practical.
Was the right one.
Was the right one.
Yes.
And celebrating its advancement or advancing that we've achieved it 5 years too early. There was a huge celebration around achieving this target 5 years early is actually detrimental to the cause of
totally
most of the consumers.
Again, if this policy is good for us, why is it not in public domain? The documents. Because what the documents say, one, as we've said in the earlier part of it, that the petrol pumps are not equipped to handle the storage with 20% ethanol. But secondly, most vehicles are pre-2023. That is 80 to 90% of the vehicles on the road today.
Meant for E10.
They're meant for E10. I don't understand, like you, I don't understand too much of physics. I don't know flying buses. What I do understand is if my vehicle is E10 compliant, how the hell can E20 petrol work in it when its own instruction manual says it cannot work? And if it can work, if E20 can work in an E10 vehicle, then why the hell did those companies upgrade their vehicles? Why did you upgrade your vehicles if it could work? It doesn't make sense. And now the fear, as you said, is now E20 may put E23. See, you know, I'll tell you how they play with words. One of the things that Hardeep Puri ji and Nitin Gadkari in the beginning, when they were being very toxic, was like, oh, how many vehicles have fallen down? So let me just break this down. Vehicles don't fall down like that. That's not how science works. I understand a little bit of science. If somebody, for example, tells you you shouldn't be drinking, but Sanket, you decide to drink every day, and I know you don't, but you decide to drink every day. Now, instead of 1 peg, you're now drinking 2 pegs a day. Now, instead of 2 pegs, you're drinking a bottle a day. Instead of a bottle, you're drinking 2 bottles a day, and you suddenly become an alcoholic. Your liver's not going to get failed in 1 day. It'll take time to get failed. But you will have other effects, and you will realize your body is not the optimum body it was. Similarly, with vehicles, your vehicle that should last you 15 years will break down in 10 years, 9 years. And you have this masterful scrapping policy. That is the problem. That does a middle class person always stay in loan? That is where the problem is coming in. That's where people are being bothered. That when I made a commitment to you, I bought a vehicle in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2023. I paid my taxes in advance.
Yeah. I want it to live its full 15 years.
Just let it live its 15 years. Don't hassle me, right? I've paid you my money. Please understand, Sanket, 90% of this country, when they earn money, they pay the tax. After they pay the tax on that money, then they buy a vehicle on tax paid money. Then on that vehicle, you again pay a tax on the tax paid money. Then you go to fill fuel in the petrol in the vehicle. This is again
that is also
taxed on it. But on that tax, there is ethanol, which is tax GST. And on the GST, there's a tax on it. I'm not making this up. So you're paying 4 taxes. Dude, like at some point, you're going to ask that after doing all this, if I am
and
not...
then I get less mileage.
Less mileage. And arrogantly, Hardeep Puri Saab says, oh, so what? Formula vehicles use ethanol, you also use. Those roads are formula roads outside. Or you say, okay, your gasket will not get spoiled in 50,000, get spoiled in 30,000. Did you take my permission for all of this? And again, for your viewers, you know, a formula race...
And by the way, you know, gasket replacement
is expensive.
Is number one expensive, and that means at the upper part of your engine gets opened. And when you do that, and then you take your vehicle for a second-hand inspection, that inspection wala will know.
Ah, see, this I didn't know.
And the value of your second-hand car will
depreciate further.
Yes.
So I'm going to use this. So thank you. I didn't know this.
No, so I spoke to car experts. I spoke to this gentleman called Ask Car Guru, and he told me this. So that it directly impacts the value of or the depreciation cost of your car in a second-hand or a used car market.
Can you believe it? So just imagine what you've done. And again, it's consent. Did you take my consent? Look, most people, again, you appreciate have one vehicle. Now,
so give me a choice and take my permission. These are the two things.
Absolutely. You have to. That's what democracy is about.
Yeah.
That's democracy 101. What else is democracy?
Yeah.
If not this? I mean, with all due respect, everything else is not democracy. This is the first part of democracy.
Now, what if the government does not agree? Because I see them brazening it out. Look at the month and 5-day long protests, which eventually led to the government bowing down to public pressure. I don't think they would bow down to every pressure. But are you hopeful, or do you feel that the government may be compelled? I'm not talking politics, I'm talking policy, right? I'm okay if these ministers live on. The greater concern for me is the petrol that I'm getting in my car,
Yes.
right? So from a consumer point of view, do you feel that you'll be able to mount enough pressure for the government to realize, the courts to realize, everyone to realize that it is not feasible to have E20 being thrust down the vehicle's throat?
I believe I'm not here to make anyone bow down. This is my government. I may be opposed to it, the party, but it is my government.
No, I'm talking about a rollback of the policy.
So I prefer a consensus. I do prefer where they understand, and the policy is in the nation's interest, people's interest. Individuals shouldn't matter. That is the last. Therefore, that is the last of my priority. Unlike the other protests, where the first priority was this one, my priority is policy over people. I'm very clear. I am ready to walk that extra mile. But yes, choice and transparency and accountability must be there. You can put people last, but let's do this first. And to that extent, I'm not in the game of making people bow. I am not here for victories. I'm here for a policy victory.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
You see, there was an allegation against Abhijit Dipke and the others who were, spearheading the Cockroach Janata Party protest for the students. And the allegation was that this is an Aam Aadmi Party front. And the reason why Aam Aadmi Party is not coming to the fore is because it will be very easy for the government to attach motive, political motive, and end it and quash it. And they will also not be the sort of genuine traction. People or the Gen Z may not want to get associated openly with a political party. You are known to be aligned with the Congress's viewpoint, and you have launched this protest, perhaps under a similar arrangement where the Congress does not want to very openly be seen as launching a protest, so that more genuine people join you and then eventually they benefit. What do you have to say to this? Is this a political movement? Do you have political motives?
Okay, so let me come to that part second. No, there is no politician at all I'm in touch with, either BJP side or Congress side or Aam Aadmi Party side or Sappa side or any side. No single politician, period. Only common citizens. Yes, I vote for a political party, which is the Congress. I agree on most things they say, but now there are increasing number of things I don't agree with. Some of the things they say, and especially they being too left. So there is also that part which I hope does sometime get highlighted. I don't agree with everything. I'm not like crazy about everything they do, but I do vote for them. I am 100% anti-BJP, no doubt about it. So coming to your second part to it, is it political? Of course I'm a political person. Why should it not be political? I am political. The demands are genuine. It is a citizens' movement, but citizens' movement is represented to political movements as well. My stage will not be for any political party unlike the other stage. I will not allow any politician on stage. No politician will speak about on my stage. No other issue except these issues will dominate my stage. But am I political? Yes, I am. 100%. And why is this new thing that's come up in India that you shouldn't be political? And I see politicians saying it. Bro, you exactly are a politician. There's nothing wrong. We are a democracy because we are political. The reason we are on federal is because we are a political country. We can easily be China and there would be no federal on China. So please, yes, I am political, and there is nothing to be embarrassed about being political. Be proud that we are political. That's what sets us apart in this geography that we are in, that we are a proud democracy. So I will not be embarrassed by anyone telling me I'm political. But my stage will not be used for politicians of any shade.
Okay. Just quickly coming back to the demands once again, do you feel that let's actually bring up that subject about E0.
Yeah.
Petrol, and why do you say that the price should be 90 rupees?
So I did something
From 165.
165 to 70. Yes, I did something very smart. I got 2 MPs to put questions in Parliament. What is the current procurement for India? The absolute last cost for petrol in India. That includes the OMCs and the distributors, the retail distributors, the petrol pumps, their margins, transportation, refining cost, crude oil import, everything. It comes to about 55 to 56 rupees a litre in current oil prices. I'm saying 60 rupees.
This is minus taxes, by the way.
Minus taxes.
Yeah.
Pure petrol.
Minus central excise and minus state VAT.
Yeah, minus central excise, minus state VAT, minus all taxes. Okay, so 60 rupees is what pure petrol at a very high rate costs us today. It's actually lesser. So 60 rupees pe aap 30% tax dal do. So 78 rupees. Another 5 rupees you put in case of an emergency, Strait of Hormuz is closed, some war, 83 rupees. Another 7 rupees you build a reservoir for future if petrol prices go away, you want to protect your citizens. We are a vulnerable country, let's be honest. 90 rupees. Given 90 rupees now, he's giving him one.
Where is the tax component?
60 पे 30% है ना. अब कितना लेंगे, बच्चे की जान लेंगे क्या?
No. So by the way, the central excise and the state VAT are two different components.
So,
and in many states, if you see,
There's cess
the
on top.
tax is more than the actual cost of the petrol.
Yes, so
and there
now-
is cess also.
So now what I'm saying is, you work out a mechanism with states and you reduce the burden on us. So 18 rupees. So I'm giving you actually on 60 rupees, 90, 30
States
rupees.
never wanted this, by the way.
States, they don't want petrol and GST also.
Yeah, they didn't want alcohol
Petrol and
petrol.
electricity.
Yeah.
So I am saying, you put it in GST or you give them whatever the funding has to be given or how it has to be worked out. But please reduce the debt on me. Please again understand, when I buy a bike, I've already paid tax. Then I'm paying tax. And I'm paying tax on the fuel. So I have a right to enjoy my vehicle. You can't be sucking the blood out of me. This is not working for me. So this has to come down. Why is it that nations that import petrol from India, Nepal and Bhutan and Bangladesh, they don't import 100%, give their citizens petrol, pure petrol without ethanol at a lesser rate? Why? Answer that question and I'm ready to answer everything else.
Okay.
Because you
so-
want to suck my blood out on petrol.
Okay,
On
so pure petrol, according to Tehseen,
Should be
90 rupees per litre.
and the government still makes hell lot of money. At 60 to 90 is 30 rupees more
Yeah,
per litre.
yeah. So what price do you think E10 should be on?
10% less than that.
10% less than 90
Yeah,
rupees
so
a litre.
81. That's when people will feel.
And I'm talking about E10
E10, 10% lesser than 90.
and E20.
10% lesser than 90.
That means 20%.
20% lesser.
So there should
Sorry,
be
20%, 10% lesser than E10. So 20% lesser than 90. So 18 rupees lesser.
Are you living in a utopian world?
But that's what they told us.
In
So
La La Land.
Now coming to that, why that can't happen. So let's get there. Glad you caught me there. So why can't that happen? Because then my second question came in Parliament. So if petrol is costing you 55, 56, what does ethanol cost you? 70 to 72 rupees a litre.
Yeah, more than petrol.
Much more. So excuse me, you are blending expensive ethanol in my pure petrol in national interest. I am not getting cheap
And
petrol.
increasing my cost.
Increasing my cost. And who's getting the subsidies? Beta Badao Yojana, the distilleries. What the hell's going on? How is this policy sensible?
The government says that this is to benefit the farmers also.
Okay.
The sugarcane farmers.
Great. Accepted. So please tell me right now what is the price of sugarcane. Let's do this on the show. Bro, Google the price of sugarcane right now on this show. And how much has gone up in the last one? It's surged up. It's gone up massively. And the government has banned the export of sugar. So who's benefiting? Farmers are not getting the money. The sugar mills are getting the money. And the sugar that you could have exported and farmers got money, that is stored. So foreign currency is also not coming in. Sugar mills are benefiting. Ethanol distilleries are benefiting. And you're paying sugar at a higher price.
So this fixing of the price of ethanol is helping the distilleries and not necessarily the farmer.
And I don't want the distilleries to die. What I am asking you is very simple. The ethanol that's left over, because the blending will become less, give it to industry, because industry are importing from America. So you're spending dollars there to get ethanol that's made in India. Because the ethanol that's made in India, giving it a subsidy to the thing and you're putting it in your vehicle and charging you more. Like, dude, how? Who only a Top class Babu could have thought of this.
No, but then
it's knots and knots.
You see, here is the thing. While you may blame Mr. Nitin Gadkari for
even
alleged,
this is Hardeep
yeah,
Puri
Hardeep Puri and Nitin Gadkari for a bad policy, and in the case of Nitin Gadkari, as you allege, of a conflict of interest. Distilleries are owned by politicians cutting across political divide.
That's true.
That too in your state of Maharashtra.
Congress owns it.
Yeah.
The party I vote for.
So they are beneficiaries of this policy.
So they are wrong on it. That's why they will not fund me. That answers your question. Why will Congress help me? That answers your own question. Grateful. And who's the king of sugar in Maharashtra? Sharad Pawar. Right now he's in the opposition till the delimitation bill. My gut feeling says she's going to that side. So I will blame them also. Who owns sugar in Karnataka? Congress. Who owns it in Western UP? BJP. Those guys were first at Sappa and Basappa. They are all politically. How many ordinary sugar mill owners do you know? Or are all politically connected?
So do you think that collectively the political class is a beneficiary of this policy?
Of a mixed up policy. Completely mixed up policy. And the defense, and I'm not making that, the defense was that they've got a loan of now 1 lakh crores from PSUs.
Yeah, what about the EMI that the consumer is paying?
Thank you so much.
For his or her car?
Aapka loan nahi, unka loan. The confidence at which, I go back to Nitin Gadkari ji because that's the interview I can refer to. He says, मेरे बेटे पे 1600 करोड़ का लोन है. भाई आपके बेटे में कोई फॉरेन फंड ने लोन नहीं दिया. PSU या भारत के बैंक को नहीं लोन दिया है. I mean, look at this. हमारा लोन भी लो, हमारा पैसा भी लो, हमारा एवरेज भी कम करो, हमारा खून भी चूसो. वाह भाई वाह, स्कूल की घंटी है, सब बचा कर जा रहे हैं. क्या मजाक है.
My final question, Tehseen. You know that in the previous protests, the deep state angle came in.
Yeah.
Soros money, deep state, and CIA, and America, China. Have you been accused of the same?
Yeah, oil lobby.
How much money have you taken from the oil lobby?
So they said 22 lakh crores. So I think 2,200 crores for 22 lakhs sounds good for me. I'm very happy with that. And then
how many crores have you taken from the oil lobby?
They said that the oil lobbies were 22 lakh crores.
Yeah.
So I could take 2,200 crores and then we could do the next podcast in a private jet like how Nitin Gadkari ji did.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
Full, yeah, it's like full fun.
How are you on Earth? You should be flying with 2,200 crores.
In his flying buses. In his flying buses. So
no, but then seriously, on a serious note.
On a serious
note, how do I know that you are not doing this for money, for a political pressure group, or for a vested interest?
I think that because I'm leading this protest and taking accountability, I must be put under the harshest and strictest accountability test. The only way I can submit to is 2 or 3. The government must have me investigated. And since I'm leading this protest and ready to cooperate with the government, they must keep asking me my accounts and must have a forensic audit of all my accounts.
No, nobody takes this money in their own account.
So demonetization failed. बता दो भाई, वो बता दो, ठीक है ना?
No, I'm not talking about cash dealing.
So whatever I'm taking.
People, all sorts of people, you hear news of swindling money around. I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying that these are tricks people use.
That's absolutely correct and legitimate. Your Hawala is a thriving business in Chandni Chowk in Delhi and areas of Gujarat. It's they run the Hawala business, so it is thriving. What I can subject myself to is a complete forensic investigation. Because in some way that money has to somehow come to me and there has to be expenses. I can put all my expenses in public domain, which so far have been 1,50,000 odd. Third, I can do.
That's all the money you have spent.
उसमें से भी अधिकतर तो जंतर मंतर पे 2 बार गया वो स्टेज के ऊपर. Out of which 90,000 I've spent, not 150, 60 the other members have spent. The third thing I can do is a lie detector test publicly that I'm not in touch with anybody and I subject. I want to be subjected to the toughest regulations that the best of our agencies are technologically. But I'm also saying along with that, allow me a peaceful protest, put me accountable and also make the ministers accountable.
Are you the brain behind E20 Janata Party?
No, I'm not. It's a Malaysian outfit. They've used all my videos and pictures and everything.
They've used my video.
They've used yours.
And they've said that, thank you so much for supporting. I have nothing to do with any...
Sanket, you cheated on me. You are Sanket supporting another... You are cheating on me.
I have no idea that I was supporting a political outfit.
But you're cheating on me. And I'm going to tell Palki that you're cheating on me and this is unacceptable. Sanket, I am walking. This is a toxic relationship. Yes. I am walking. But saying about toxic, I have to tell you something that happened yesterday, which was a little funny and a little corny. They had a trend about me calling me a porn star.
What?
Yeah, I'm not making this up. So because they decided they have to attack me,
Huh.
they said that, okay, and I think I know which agency it is. I don't have the finality. So they said Pawn Star Poonawalla. As if that would make me embarrassed. So I owned it. I said, at least I'm not screwing the country.
On that note,
Thanks,
thank you
Sanket.
very much.
Thank you,
Tehseen.
Sanket.
Thank you for joining us.